What's going on, guys? So I know everybody's excited for the Sony A95K, and we're likely going to hear a lot of hype around it. So I kind of wanted to balance things out by talking about some things I've noticed that might be potential deal breakers. So smack a like on this video because I'm getting to the point right now. So essentially, Sony's looking a lot thicker than Samsung this year, and again, that might not be a big deal for some people, but it does play a factor into weight when we talk about wall mounting. So the laser thin design will look a lot better mounted on a wall, making Samsung the better choice for wall mounters. Now, they both talk about eco-friendly options, but Samsung seems to be the only one taking it more seriously with less plastic inside the box, in addition to having a solar-powered and USB-powered remote to cut down on battery waste that we have. So from an eco-friendly perspective, Sony is losing because all they have is a battery-powered remote. Now, in terms of just the presentation, Samsung is way more premium as far as their build quality because they have metal basically all around. The backing of the television more or less is metal until we get to some of the plasticky elements, but the stand is also metal. I mean, the whole thing really is more premium than any of the other TVs that we have seen coming out of Sony from the OLED market, where they just like to use plastic and recycled plastic. The other thing I wanted to point out is that we've got confirmation from Caleb from Digital Trends that basically this TV is basically targeting 1,000 nits. That's all you can really expect. Now that's a big downgrade from the 1,400 nits sustained I measured and the over 1,500 nits that you get in HDR. Again, the Samsung is just a light canning compared to what Sony is offering. Now, that wouldn't be a big deal if we didn't have our next point here, which is that the Sony is going to be more expensive, with, again, predictions being $3,000 for just a 55-inch and $4,000 for a 65-inch. If those actually do end up becoming the prices, then you're going to be overpaying, essentially, that Sony tax for essentially no reason. Now, there's also no motion smoothing in game mode, so motion jitters are going to be a common nature on that display. And unlike LG and Samsung, there is no game hub, so you can't even go in and adjust for fast or fastest, input lag, and other additional options. Now, Sony also has a full screen footprint, which means that Samsung can accommodate smaller media consoles. And unlike Sony, they actually have a cutout on the bottom that you can place a tiny soundbar. Now, you can't put a really big one, but you definitely can put a smaller one. And it's just all of these things kind of add to a more consumer-friendly approach. I feel like what Sony is going with this year is a little weird, especially when we talk about my next point, and that's the fact that the way that they have their stand, if you do end up tabletopping this, there is a slight tilt to the screen from everything that I've seen on camera. It seems a lot like when they had their Sony A1E, their first OLED ever, how they had a slight lean to the picture, and it seems like they're kind of going back to that just a little bit versus the footprint rather that we saw on TVs like the A90J. So, you know, it's not to hate on Sony, but it's just to kind of balance out what we've seen and to say, hey, look at everything. Don't just listen to the most positive things because there are pros and cons to every product. And that's just kind of my message here today. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Comment down below. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.